Good morning vlog. So today is the last day you'll see me in here because even though it is still below freezing for the majority of the day, every day, I am no longer a houseman anymore. I am going back into the travel life. Had the bus, the short bus that I part-timed. I took on some vacations in Tennessee in the South. Then I lived in my tiny little cargo van in Hawaii. And of course now I got the truck camper and it is time to move into the truck camper. Mainly just because I hate paying rent, so I've been here 2 months. This is the only time, other than like college dorms, that I've had to pay rent, and it's not fun. But it's, like I say, it literally snowed today, like it's still pretty freezing out, but hopefully starting to warm up. I've planned accordingly. I've got some big blankets. I got a sleeping bag on my couch here that I will be putting in the bed because, when it's below 30 degrees and you're trying to sleep, you're going to want all the protection you got, because I'm not planning on running the propane yet, like propane heater. I might plan on getting a smaller truck camper instead of this gargantuan monster one that I have right now, which it's nice, but I don't know, maybe something else. It'll also be different because I'm not sure how lenient, say, the police are about me sleeping in the truck camper. I'll try to be as inconspicuous as possible, as least annoying as possible. But yeah, it's literally gonna be like my first day is literally gonna be like the first day of a work week. So if it goes bad, you still got 4 more days of work, so you just gotta figure it out. As you can see, I'm now in the camper. I got all my junk in here. Until it's consistently above freezing, all day, I don't think I'm gonna go through the trouble of unpacking everything. I'll just use this space as a sleeping space, and when it gets a little warmer, we'll take everything out and put it in its right spot. But for now, keep everything kind of tucked away. So one thing I did want to talk about, if I'll keep this camper. So this is a very large camper, especially compared to my tiny little cargo van in Hawaii. But it's also just, if I'm thinking of my perfect camper, there is certain other things I would like. If I could have one without a slide, because the slide takes a little bit extra room that I could have for walking, even though, I'm small and skinny enough where I can still fit through everything fine. But propane oven and not just a propane stovetop would be nice. Before I deck this one out and make it my perfect camper, it's like, is this the one that I want to keep for years and years? Is this the one that I want to put some money into and make it my perfect camper? Because if I'm living in a camper, I'm going to have to build out the electrical system, build out a solar system. Obviously there's a little one that comes with it, but I'm going to need much more power than that's made for. And so I'd like to build a system that I know I built correctly and I built myself. And so I'm going to put money into a camper like that. I want it to be my perfect camper. And there's another brand. So this is a Lance camper, and Northern Light and Bigfoot campers, they make their campers a little bit different. They're based out of Canada. They're made for that type of weather. Like, they're much more cold tolerant. And so I think if I'm going to be living out here, even though there is seasons and it's not just winter out here, I think that would not be a bad idea. This camper is not leaking anywhere that I know, but those type of campers, the other two brands that I like, are built in a certain way where it makes them much more resistant to leaking because they have a lot less points of like intersection in building. So now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, maybe I'll post this one for sale and try to get into another one. And that's why I'm not completely setting this one up. I'm leaving all my bags packed, just because I might get one that's a different brand and maybe a little bit smaller, and not such a big old thing parked on the side of the street that's gonna get the attention of cops and whatnot. Even though they're still gonna be big, but maybe like a foot smaller. One thing I will add, you can see the snow's starting to melt, but it's still coming down. If you can see it in the camera, it's still actively snowing. And it's like right above freezing, like 33, 34 degrees. But even just being in the camper and out of the wind, it's not that chilly in here. I mean, I'm in pants and a jacket, sure, but I'm not that cold. I don't think I should have any real problems because I've got like a thick blanket and a sleeping bag back there for the bed. Yeah, in Hawaii it was nice because I worked 2 days a week. And if you want to be uncomfortable, and like if I want to move into the camper and I would only have 2 days to work and be uncomfortable, that's fine. But this, you gotta have this relatively set up so you can sleep comfortably, because I'm gonna be sleeping 4 nights in here before work, and you want to have a good sleep before you save people's lives. I planned because I knew this day was coming. And I've planned pretty well, like with my sleeping bags and heavy blankets back there and stuff. So I think I should be comfortable. But yeah, after this week, I should hopefully get more comfortable in the camper, but also start exploring nearby areas. Get more into hikes, because that 60-degree mark is like dreamy for hikes. Hikes, climbs, anything I can find. I've got some more recommendations from people at work, so I'm creating a list, and people I meet are giving me recommendations. So fingers crossed, we get into some of that soon. So I'm jumping a little bit in time here, but it is the next day, 2 days later. It is my first day after sleeping in the truck camper for the first time. And of course, it was like in the 20s my first night sleeping, so it was cold. But I had my sleeping bag and a blanket back there, and I slept in like sweatpants, so I was fine but cold. Next week, it's supposed to be lows in the 40s, highs in the 60s, which is much nicer. Instead of 20s to 30s, that's a little bit more comfortable, but I gotta get through another, 6 days of highs in the 30s, sleeping in the truck camper. But that's fine. So I just hit some grocery shopping. But I'm just gonna heat up some soup real quick and then run into work and go get showered. I don't think my coworkers here yet know the homelessness situation like my coworkers did in Hawaii, where they'd know like, oh, Riley's gonna come in at this time and shower before work. Yeah, they don't know that here, so but my job is mostly done by like 5 p.m. So most everybody's gonna be gone, so they probably won't even see me, which is fine. That's probably good. Yeah, so first night in the truck camper. It's still messy as heck because I'm not unpacking anything if I'm going to sell this one in a few weeks. I'm enjoying life back on the road, even if I haven't gone anywhere fun. I'm just enjoying not being in sticks and bricks, not wasting my time sitting on the couch watching TV, right? I am just enjoying the camper lifestyle again. Yeah, so thank you for watching.